Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Mokakadash. Double honors to the elders who are pushing the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim scattered through four corners of the globe, pushing the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. Say shalom to you Akim out there. And this is a recent news article that just came out from the New York Times, and it reads, U.S. extends troop deployment in Romania at Ukraine's war doorstep.
Chilly out there.
Oh, it's chilly out there.
Yeah, you gotta put some clothes on.
Yeah.
I had got to do a fucking deal.
Oh, okay. Oh, must not be nothing in there.
You got a little bit of car.
Oh,
It's sports.
yeah, college basketball. Alright, well.
That's why we go to.
Okay. So yeah, U.S. extends troop deployment in Romania at Ukraine's war doorstep. And it says the buildup is part of the Biden commitment to increase American forces in Europe in response to the Russian invasion last February. Right, and this wasn't not too long ago. They had an extended, the previous times within last year, with the extending of the military troop deployment. I believe it was like 1,200 soldiers within last year. Now, since this is a new year of 2023, now you got this recent news just came out as of now. The Biden administration extended even more deployment of troops, so they extended it even more further. As it says, I'm gonna read it again. The U.S. extends of troop deployment in Romania at Ukraine's war's doorstep. Right, because the current Russia-Ukraine war, it's increasing over there. It says the buildup is part of President Biden's commitment to increase American forces in Europe in response to Russia's invasion of last February, which is last year, 2022. And it says the Pentagon will keep several thousand American troops in southeast Romania for at least 9 more months, close to the war in neighboring Ukraine than any other U.S. Army unit, officials said on Saturday. Over the last year, the sprawling of Mahali Konklani Air Base, I can pronounce that name, Salaki for that. Just even 7-minute rocket flight across the Black Sea from where the Russian forces have settled in Crimea has become a training hub for NATO forces in the southeast Europe. The forces will be a first line of defense should have Russia invade further west. It says there are about 4,000 U.S. soldiers within the 101st Airborne Division who have been stationed at the air base since last summer, including small groups of troops that frequently train right on Romania's border with Ukraine. Before that, there's a smaller contingent from the 82 Airborne that was sent as a part of a quick response force after Russia's invasion in Ukraine. And it says the 101st Airborne Division troops will leave in the next 2 months. And officials said they will be replaced by a different bridge from the 101st Division, which is based at Fort Camp, Kentucky. In addition, the official said the mission will be led by the senior staff, including its two-star general and top planes from the 10th Mountain Division based in Fort Drum, New York, for what it is expected to be about a 9-month deployment. Prior to Saturday, it has not been clear whether the Pentagon will keep the senior level unit at the air base on Romania, move its forces elsewhere. Sending a two-star general that close to the combat zones, military analysts have said it would for quick decisions and were to position troops and weapons should Russia push the war into the NATO territory. And it says the move will ensure the United States continues to be positioned to provide a robust deterrence and defense posture along with our allies across the European continent. The Army says in a statement on Saturday that the United States will continue to adjust its posture and need in response to the dynamic security environment. The buildup was part of President Joe Biden's commitment in June to increase American forces in Europe in response to the Russian invasion that will also include about 12,000 American troops currently based in western Poland to work with NATO forces in Poland and the ballistics. Supporters of maintaining a strong presence in Eastern Europe have pointed to Russian attack as proof that the United States and its NATO allies did not do enough to deter Moscow last winter. The American forces in Romania are training soldiers for NATO allies in Bulgaria, Germany, Hungary, and Slovakia. Though they are among the closest units to the combat, they are not training Ukraine forces on the advanced weapons that are being shipped to Ukraine's. Romania military officials have welcomed the American troops as a force large enough of what the Lieutenant General Lunian Burdala, chief of the country's land forces, described last month at the predictable deterrence and defiance together. It says the Mahali Kuraglan Air Base near the Romanian coastal city of Constanța previously served as a sleeping outpost for training NATO troops, including several hundred American soldiers, and was known more broadly in the military as a weighing station with small mess hall for U.S. forces heading in from Afghanistan. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. And, this goes into what the continual 9-month deployment of the current troops that are stationed over there in Europe, in Romania as well, too. Because you have with the NATO allies, with the deployment of their troops over there as well, too. With many other countries or nations of their military deployment, and with the large deployment of military troops as well, too. And then while you got the current Russia-Ukraine war situation is going on, as the United States fund an additional $2.5 billion, I believe, because that report came out about a day or two ago. So yeah, this with the Russia-Ukraine situation. Now with this latest news article that in extending the U.S. troops already that's been deployed over there in Romania and the Eastern Europe region, where they're along with their NATO allies, while the which they are not too far from the area where the Russian-Ukraine in war it's currently taking place right now. And this is Matthews 24:6. Salakia, I had to add a note to that. Matthews 24:6. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right, because all this stuff is going to continue to build up and increase, of these wars and rumors of wars between the nations and different kingdoms as well, too. So the Russia-Ukraine situation is going to continue to heat up and increase. Matthews 24:7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence. And I believe I read not trying to get off topic, I believe I read an article over there in North Korea. They was saying it was an increasing of famine, the biggest famine that they had in a quite while sometime. So you got the famines around the world as well too. Even though it's not highly being talked about, but you're gonna see that increase as well too. You're gonna see the pestilence with the weather conditions, the pestilence of the plagues, the pestilent plagues and these diseases that's gonna increase as well too, and earthquakes in diverse places, right? Because we've been seeing the increases of these earthquakes in diverse places around the world as well too. But the main focus is of these wars and rumors of wars and heating up and building up, especially with the Russian-Ukraine situation. And as you got this latest news right here, the U.S. soldiers going to be extended over there for an additional 9 months, as it says right here from the New York Times of this news article. And it says the U.S. extends troop deployment in Romania at Ukraine's war doorstep, right? Because they right near, to the bordering area over there in that region where the current Russia-Ukraine situation is happening as we speak, because that war is going to increase, intensify. And there was one news article came out, I don't know, he was a former advisor or something like that. I forgot what position he used to work in. And he was saying that, during the next couple of months, Russia going to step up their military response against Ukraine, in that region. So that goes to show you that another clear example of these wars and rumors of wars is heating up, and the nations rising up against nations is going to constantly continue to increase and build up between these two different nations and different kingdoms, and that's what we're seeing in the latter days. So with that, I just want to bring out this little quick news article from the New York Times, as it has right here, the U.S. to extend troop deployment in Romania and a part of Eastern Europe as well too, as they ride along with their NATO allies as well too, and at Ukraine's war's doorstep, which they not too far from. So with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying. And I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Bokakadash. Double honors to the elders who are preaching his word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And until next time, I will say shalom.